I show.
Okay. It looks like it's here.
Sometimes they have to take flight and get through.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
That's all right.
That works. Looks like it's here.
Sometimes they have to take flight and get through.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
That's all right.
Again.
Whenever you're ready, we'll.
Okay. All right. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. And Joe, do you want to do the pledge? Sure. All right. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Move on to approval of the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as written.
Okay. I got a couple of questions. No, they're,
Oh, and I'll second it, by the way.
No, 16, that was our last board meeting, right?
Yes.
Oh, there it is. Number 2, Laurel Smouse, Smouse, instead of A,
Okay.
just a,
First one?
and then,
Minutes.
yeah, it's in minutes. B2,
Oh, minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, the minutes from the 16th. B2, robotics presentation, about 3/4 of the way through. They also do PH, and I think instead of F, for fundraising. Just a
Oh, I
typo.
thought that's what they called it in their slide presentation.
Oh, is it?
Yes, that's what they call their fundraising.
Okay. Well, my mistake then. So, all right, no, that, I guess I only had one then on Lori's, name.
Okay.
So, anybody else got anything? No. All right, all those in favor? Aye. Is Erin, on Zoom?
She's up there.
Okay. Oh,
She's raising her hand.
All right, motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Request for agenda modifications.
We do. We have one request from Plymouth Crime Mission to alter the incoming kinder numbers for interdistrict transfers.
Oh, okay.
To add 5 slots.
So that would probably be under strategy and discussion.
Or does that need to be an action?
That'd be an action item.
Action item, okay, we'll move that to number 5 on the action items now. Okay. Hearing nothing else, we'll assume the rest of it's good. And student government report, which I don't see anybody here tonight. And here's public comment. Michelle, was there any public comments?
No.
Okay. Okay, we're going to close the regular session, and we will open up the 24-25 budget hearing for discussion. So as of now, we are closing the regular session and opening the budget hearing for discussion. And number one is the business manager and superintendent.
I received no action or board requests for changes, so I would propose we adopt the budget as presented.
Okay.
Comments? No public comments submitted.
Aaron, do you have anything?
No.
Nope. Okay, all right. And does any of the other board members have anything?
No.
Is there any public comment? Hearing none. All right, we will close the budget hearing, and now we are going to reopen the regular session and the 24-25 budget actions. Would somebody like to do resolution number one?
I will move the resolution 23-2407, resolution adopting the budget and making appropriations.
Just been moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Resolution number two.
I move that we, you don't have it specifically listed.
It's up in the top with the same one.
Oh, okay, so yeah, all right. Move resolution 23-2408, resolution imposing the tax and categorizing the tax. As printed in the, was it at the top of page 16 there?
I think it's page 17.
Or 17? Oh, there it is, yeah,
Yeah.
page 17, okay.
That's where it started.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Josie, yes.
Aaron's a yes, so the motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Reports, association reports, PEA.
I'm so gosh.
Gotta
I
get
know.
that
You guys know
chair.
how much I love doing this. So. It won't happen every time, so. But I did want to just quickly, I have a couple of comments that I wanted. First, I know Dave is not here, Dave Dunn, but I just wanted to publicly thank him for serving this last year. He has been amazing and amazing to serve too. He has a lot of knowledge, and he is also stepping back from ASB this year and catching his breath from just being so involved with everything and just kind of focusing on teaching again. And I honestly don't know anybody who works harder for students. He really puts his time and effort into, he cares about staff, he cares about kids, he cares about our community, and I just really appreciate everything he's done. So I just wanted to let everybody know here. Also, just kind of summarize the last year. It's been good, but rough in a few areas. There's no question about it. Once again, we're struggling with the sped and workload and trying to find a good balance there with our team. And so we have hopes for next year hitting the ground running in a more positive manner, which would be great. I also just wanted to address just briefly, really briefly, that I know the teachers sent the board some concerns recently over safety. And I also know that the teachers came here a year ago and also expressed some concerns with some other stuff, but safety being another issue on their mind. And I just really hope that the board takes that into consideration. And I believe you guys feel the same way, that we need to be a district that's proactive, not reactive when concerns arise. And so I'm just hoping that you keep that in your mind moving forward. So thank you.
Thanks, Nicole.
Thank you.
OSEA.
There's no report from them tonight.
Superintendent's report. How's that?
are hopefully brief tonight. Because there's a lot that's happening, obviously. And it's really the 23-24 end of year. Everybody was really supportive of a good year. The year-end activities that were well planned and implemented, well done. And the look at the Philomath Academy, Philomath High School, and Kings Valley Charter School had their graduations all successful. Philomath High School was 105 graduates. I think I left other things behind. Kings Valley was 3 graduates and 1 GED, and Philomath Academy was 20 graduates and 8 or 9 GEDs. I can't remember off the top of my head. That ended up being awarded in those ceremonies. So some good things and some good measures of success. We already have summer learning started. Our high school credit recovery that meets in this room every morning for our high schoolers that are needing to make things up for credit. And then at the very end of July, we will start our kindergarten through 3rd grade lit camp, of which are any of our guests teaching? No, okay. So we've got teachers set up for those sessions Monday through Thursday in the morning. We have extended school year that will start the week later on August 5th and run for 3 weeks, August 5th through 22nd. And I also added on for the technology department that we'll have 2 student interns working during the month of July. Thanks, Nicole. I think that you may have had some hand in putting those names out there. And it's a different learning opportunity that's settled on 2 kids, but they still get the opportunity to learn. And without having the program at LBCC, our technology department is really set to be able to provide letters of reference to those individuals that talk about the specific activities that they get to put their hands in. And so they have something moving forward to be able to take along with them, which is awesome. Our student services update, in your consent agenda, you approved our new student services director. I met with her this morning, and we're off and running to get things moving. And she comes to us from the Monroe School District, and is very excited to be with us. And so we're really looking forward to having Kelsey here. We had a meeting set up that I reported on last month that was a May 17th meeting where we brought it was a meeting designed for all special educators. It was a Friday. On Thursday afternoon, I thought, oh darn it, the speech language pathologists typically meet on Wednesday, and I completely blew off telling them anything different. And lo and behold, on Friday afternoon, all of our speech language pathologists were there at the meeting, along with every other one of our special educators. And if that doesn't say something about commitment of our people, then we're kidding ourselves. I mean, it was great to be able to have everybody there, and just the message of here we are, and we're all together, and here we go. So I appreciated that a lot. And then preparations for our state review that is going to take place this fall. We're starting to work on that. The nutrition services update, just a reminder that we're staying with the same arrangement that we have with Corvallis in terms of they will do our menu planning and providing our food for us. We continue to look at what the possibilities are for us to store commodities, be able to gradually take over some pieces of that enterprise over the course of the next couple of years, or not, and working that through. Also, I shouldn't say we, because it's really Jennifer and Scott, that are working on an application for consideration to provide free meals for all students. It's a federal program that we've made a first cut with, and with the approval, it is something that stays with districts for 4 years. So it is not just a 1-year decision, and then you have to worry the next year about, oh, we got to start paying again. So we're hopeful that some of those things will come through, and it would be a great coup and a gift to us to be able to have all of our students eat breakfast and lunch for free. We don't have to worry about people not paying, we don't have to worry about students not eating, because we know from COVID that the numbers of students eating went up when the food was free. And so it's just, you know, full stomachs, help with brain readiness and everything else for school. So we're kind of hoping that this will come through for us. The other piece is a project that LBL has taken on that we are a part of, and it is called Grow Your Own, and it's really about taking a look at people, substitutes, instructional assistants, other people who have worked with the district that say, I might like to join that teacher rank or that administrator rank or that counselor rank, and I want to get a degree. And what this program is doing is providing some support for individuals, some financial, but also it's about looking at what are the barriers that we need to get out of the way to be able to make that be a success. And we have one person from Philomath Elementary School that will be a part of the program in the upcoming year, and since then it's bubbled up that there are other people that are a part of it. There are some people that didn't go through the funding cycle, but I think they're connected with the people at LBL in the program. And even if there's no money attached to it right now, there's some look at what would it take to be able to make these things available to you. And so it's an opportunity to take people that we know are committed to our community and committed to our schools and grow them into a teaching position, which is really exciting. And then I put just lots of dates to remember, and it really is inclusive of, it goes out to registration when high school registration is, and I know we'll meet again before that time, but it was a way of being able to kind of get the litany of when students are coming in and what all is happening. So that's what I got.
Okay. Anybody got a question? Nope. Okay. Moving right along, financial report, Jennifer.
Thank you for adopting the resolutions to adopt the budget and the tax levies. That's great. One more step in the process. Also in the board packet is an additional resolution to appropriate a little additional funding for the year. As we close out the year, we have to make sure we're staying within our appropriations and realize that we have some additional interest income that we've earned since interest rates have been so high this year. So we can appropriate that for instruction services and support services in the general fund. So that helps with our closing out everything for the end of the year for appropriation wise. In the packet is listing, the financial reports have an appropriation listing, and those include this resolution. Those are an estimate of where we'll end up with the final numbers. I still have some grant cleanup to do, so we're still working. I don't quite have the year closed out yet. It's going to be a race to the finish.
We got a week.
Yeah.
10 days.
Yeah. And so the auditors will be here tomorrow doing their spring interim audit. They usually come a little earlier in the spring, but this year they had to put it out. They do some initial testing, so they don't have to do so much when they come back in October. They said they'll probably be there half a day. And then you'll see the enrollment totals, and we still ended up about 80 higher than last year, so maintained that enrollment increase throughout the year. That's good forecasting into next year, so we're hoping to stick with the same numbers.
Will we see that money when, with the extra kids, or have we been seeing that all year long?
We've seen it since December. They did the initial recalculation for state school funding, and then in April and May, the payments we got for those months included that additional increase for the enrollment. So we've gotten pretty much the bulk of our state school fund. When they do the reconciliation next spring for this year, they'll finalize that, and there could be a little bit more of an adjustment, just depending on how everybody around the state is. But as of now, they've included the total of the enrollment.
Okay.
Yeah. And you'll see in the listing of expenditures over 10,000 that we were able to purchase a van. We had some grant funding remaining from our transition grant that was given for our high school program at Transition Services. And one of the hopes for that grant funding was to be able to purchase a van for them to use for transporting the children. And we found a great deal just online. It's a used van, but it's very similar to the one we had. We've put decals on it, and I think it's a great purchase for that program. They're very enthusiastic about having their own van instead of having to coordinate all the usage across the district.
It's always nice.
Yeah, so that was an exciting end to that year for that grant. Other than that, anything else is in the packet unless you have questions?
I have some questions too.
Nope.
I assume Aaron doesn't need it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
she's
Aaron,
got
go
her
for
hand
it.
up.
Yep.
She's got her hand up.
Okay.
I do have a question, and I had mentioned this before, but I know that there's a big fundraising effort to replace the turf on the baseball fields. And I was wondering where that money is being held, that's being raised, because it doesn't seem to be accounted for unless I just don't know where to look, which is quite possible. And just point me in the right direction if that's the case.
So we have collected some with the district. We're holding it in the 400 fund account. And the Baseball Association, the Philomath Baseball Association, is holding a portion of the funding as well. So they're collecting it, and then they'll donate it to the school when it's time for the project to begin.
Thank you. That makes more sense. I just kept looking under the team listing and I was like, I don't see it here, but that makes more sense. Thank you.
We're not holding it in the ASB account.
Of course you wouldn't be. Hey, it's been a long day.
Yes, it has.
All right, thanks, Aaron. All right, moving on then, we'll go to strategy and discussion. Our July and August board meeting schedules. We have the July meeting on July 9th, which is a Tuesday rather than a Thursday. And executive session will be at 5:30, regular session will convene at 7. I'm open to whatever we want to do for August.
Yeah, because that's not, that August, the 1st is a Thursday, which would put our third Thursday in August to the 15th, which is a little earlier than we usually do it, but I'm okay with that. I don't know. The only thing would be if people are on vacation, or I don't know if we want to check with Ryan, or, I don't know. Aaron, do you have a preference?
Well,
I
Ryan.
mean, the 15th is my birthday, but that's okay. I can hang out with you all on my birthday. That's a good way to spend one.
Ryan might possibly not be available by the 15th.
Yeah, well,
They're going on vacation.
are they on vacation then?
I'm
Yeah,
just
but
wondering
that's
if the
kind of
22nd, the fourth Thursday for that month might be better.
I'm good with that.
I'm good with the 22nd.
You good with the 22nd?
22nd? Yep.
I am too, yeah, so,
Okay.
and that will give Ryan a better chance of being there, so.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we'll do the 22nd of August, and at this point in time, we'll do a 6 o'clock exec session if we need one, and regular session at 7.
Okay.
This kind of plays in, I'll wait for you to come in the next one.
All right, the board self-evaluation.
And Michelle and I were charged with reaching out to Vince Adams to be able to do that. And so what we wanted to ask of the board is when you want to begin that process. Do you want to begin it in July? Do you want to begin it in August? And dependent upon what we need in terms of exec session, do we want to do it to start that process on August 22nd? Do we want to look at, last year we did our retreat out in early to mid-September, which we could do again, but before we get specific with dates with Vince, we kind of wanted to see what the preferred time with the board would be.
I would tentatively say that executive session on the 22nd started. I don't think we want to try to do it in July, I don't push it too much.
No.
And that's fine, we just wanted to make sure that, we were assuming.
And then if we decide to have a board retreat, we usually do, set the work session, but, then after we meet in that August meeting, we can then decide when and how long we need for some sort of a work session to include that, part of the process of the board evaluation.
Is the board self-evaluation supposed to be held in executive session? I would think that that would be held in a work session.
It would be, so what we would do is if there's no executive session work, we would turn it into a work session. And be
Sorry,
able to-
I missed.
As we get closer, we'll know.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Yes, I agree with that. Sorry.
Oh, you're right where you, yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay. Nothing else on that, we'll go to OSCA negotiation.
And I just wanted to follow up, we voted last month to ratify the agreement with our classified association, and their group met on May 23rd after our board meeting and ratified on their end. So we have a settled agreement with our classified association through the end of June of 2026.
Okay,
So,
can I just sign that tonight?
thank you,
So-
that's,
Okay. Discussion action items, discussion from executive session. And I would be willing to entertain the motion.
Did you want to preface it with anything?
Just that we had a complaint against the superintendent, we addressed it in executive session, and we are prepared to make a statement here in open session.
I move to accept the public complaint and to delegate the authority to the board chair to retain an investigator for the purpose of investigating this complaint. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one, I retract.
Yeah.
I retract. I move to accept the public complaint and to delegate the authority to the board chair to respond to them.
Okay. That's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Yep. Motion passes 4-0 with one absent. So I will be reaching out to the complainant and responded both. So I will deal with that at this point in time. Second reading of policies. Aaron, you got us way too much work to do.
You can blame Joe too. He was there.
Oh, I'm on the
committee
I'm on the
too?
committee too.
Okay.
Well, blame OSBA and the state legislature for forcing us to do it. But no, there's a lot of good ones and necessary ones in there. So I don't know if you've read through all of them, if you had any questions.
I tried to read through most of them, got through most of them.
A lot of them were just as presented from the state. We just try to accept this. There are a few changes, few additions, and minor fixes, but I have, other than saying these are ones we need, and then we have some ones we're deleting in response to some of the ones we're changing to.
And I had a question on the first one, the BBF, which is the School Board Standards of Conduct.
Right.
And you can put whatever language you want in number A board member should or shall or may or whatever, and they put should, and since it's standards of conduct, you know, number one is comply with ethics laws for public officials. I don't think that it should be a board member should comply with them. A board member will comply with ethics laws for public officials. They will understand that board sets the standards for the district through board policy, all of those.
Yeah.
I'm just not real happy with the word should in there.
We were bouncing back and forth on that.
Yeah.
As well, and ultimately, I don't care which way. Aaron, do you have any memory of that, our discussion?
Yes, that's my recollection as well, that we were determining whether to go with the recommended change or keep it as shall. And I think that the consensus we came to was let's bring it before the board and see what the rest of the board thinks. But I do think everyone in the room was in agreement that shall is a very strong word that we all support. Should the rest of the board also make that change? We're not required to change that word. We can keep it as shall.
So, and I'm perfectly okay with going back to
Well, either shall or will, I mean,
shall seems more fun.
well,
I still.
I'm not really thinking, so will would work for me,
Sure.
I think shall holds legal weight, which is why they use the word shall.
All right, so we'll change that wording in a board member shall, we'll keep it to what it was and not accept the change from OSBA.
Okay, Michelle, you got that? Okay, cool.
Okay, is there any other changes that anybody would like to see in any of the
Well, and
policies?
we, just for your information, I don't know if you noticed it, we added, didn't we add number 23? The board member shall submit to an in-state criminal records check. Yeah, we added that,
Yes.
right?
Yes, we added that based on a previous decision from the board, that was something that we felt strongly was needed. So this seemed like the right place to put it and the right timing to add it.
Okay,
No,
in case you didn't know that or didn't remember.
I don't see a problem with that, I think it's a good idea. Okay.
Any others that you have questions on, or any that you wanted to comment on, Aaron?
Did you, I'm just asking this because I wasn't involved in the
Sure.
conversations, but the student representative to the board, are you happy with all the language in that and the AR?
Yeah, didn't we?
She's shaking her head, yes.
Yeah, I seen
Yeah,
Aaron
we-
shaking her head, yes.
Yeah, we can't remember if we adjusted it much from what the state proposed. But,
We didn't do much adjusting, but it gave us the opportunity to then go out in the fall to be able to get our representative at that point in time.
right, yeah, so. Yeah, so no, it seemed to do everything we wanted it to do, so.
Okay. I just wanted to check.
No, yeah, absolutely, that's why we're here.
I don't think that there was any others that really
Jumped out at you.
stood out. No, the CB, the superintendent, is just kind of accepting language, except for at the bottom, they struck one deal down at the very bottom of it.
A lot of special ed stuff.
You know, yeah,
That was
important.
important. All of these were either required for us to adopt or highly recommended to adopt.
yeah.
So there weren't. a whole
Yeah,
lot of-
and that the strike at the bottom of that one is regarding to in regard to the superintendent needing to follow law, but applies to educational service districts, and school district superintendents shouldn't have to know the laws that apply to educational service districts. So I think that's why that has been struck. My understanding or belief is that ESDs have their own version of this policy that they have in place that swaps out all that language to avoid any confusion.
It just, not really confused, but there's a lot of language in the abuse of a child reporting requirements, whether it's the policy, the AR, they seem to be kind of redundant on a lot of the things that's in the policy, also in the AR. Is that by design, or is that, I don't quite, and I know we don't have to adopt ARs, we just adopt the policies, but.
Yeah, in this case, though, when it's something that important, we chose to include the ARs.
Well, I realize that, but I just,
And some of the changes were really based on changes in legal language. You know, so we went after, let's make sure that our i's are dotted and t's are crossed in relationship to administrative rule and statute, so.
Yeah. I also have.
It was investigating on district property.
Page 72, yeah.
Um,
The second AR from that.
Yeah, and I read something that if somebody doesn't sign it, then you can't do it. I'm trying to find it if it was.
Investigator refused to sign, district staff should not deny entry based on refusal to sign.
Yeah,
I think that's just a legal requirement. It's, we just have to make note that they refuse, that whoever the investigator was refused to sign.
okay. All right, I just,
Yeah, it's one of those, it's one, I assume, Susan, you know more than I would, but that's just a
Yeah,
it's a
no,
legal
it's
requirement.
absolutely
Legal
right.
requirement.
Yep.
so,
okay, well, I figured that's what it was, but it doesn't hurt to ask.
Nope.
Sure, absolutely. That's why we're here.
Other than that, I don't have anything on the policies, so.
Did you have any questions, Sam?
I do not have any questions right now.
Okay.
It's a lot to go through, I know, but it's,
All right,
we
so
got through, thanks so much to Michelle and Susan for helping.
I guess we'll adopt these with the one
The one
change.
change, yep.
So if I can have a motion.
I so move, I move that we adopt the policies as printed in the report with the one change to the board member standards in the intro where we will change back to shall.
Yeah, BBF, number A.
BBFA.
And then, yeah, well, then 23 is new. It's,
Right. That's how state
criminal check, so, okay. Did you second?
Sorry. If anyone had any questions for me, I had to answer the phone. It was my mom's surgeon calling. So please just let me know if I missed anything.
Policies.
Yeah, so it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of accepting the policies? Motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Okay.
Did that motion, sorry, I didn't
Didn't include the
specifically
deletion.
say that delete, so do I need to do a second motion?
Yeah, we'll do a second motion to delete these policies that are listed.
Okay, so I so move we delete the policies listed in the report because they're previous versions that we no longer need, since we have updated versions to replace them.
I will second that motion.
Okay, Aaron seconded that. So all those in favor? Motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Okay.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you. That's a lot of work to do them. I've been on that policy committee before. Number 4, resolution 23-2406.
You want to speak to it, Jennifer? Well, you already did.
Yeah, sure.
I so move, we accept resolution 23-2406 for the transfer of funds within the.
I second that.
Okay. All those in favor? Motion passes 4-0 with one absent. Number 5, the CPS.
Yeah, the request was to accept an increase in the number of inter-district transfers for kindergarten students at CPS by 5, to allow 5 additional inter-district transfers at that.
That's not a problem for class sizes?
Not with kinder at this
Okay.
point. Abby's been watching it all the time.
Okay, if I see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We have currently with 5 slots of inter-district transfers, we have 67 students enrolled. And the families that have submitted their inter-district transfer forms already are really needing to know if they can come or not, and there's room for them. So
Okay.
I'm counting them as our numbers if you guys have.
Okay, great, fantastic.
67 for next year. What do we have in kindergarten this year?
This year we had 86, we had 92 to start the year, now we're at 86.
Wow. That sounds like very
We
good.
will get an influx.
Yeah,
from
well, sure,
the
they're always.
We'll get some more.
Yeah, well, I figured that, but it sounds like a very doable number with, compared to what we had this year, so. even if we gain more, it'll just kind of bring it up there, so. Okay, I'll be willing to entertain a motion.
I move.
I'm
No, go.
I move that we accept the increased interdistrict class size for the kindergarten class of 24, 25? 24, 25. I know my numbers.
I'll second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Okay, motion passes 4-0 with 1 absent.
Abby might have to accept me as a kindergarten transfer, apparently.
Okay, moving along, the meeting closure, next meeting agenda items. One of the biggest things that I know of is the election of the officers for the 24-25 year.
The only other thing I could think of is adding a work session sometime in September or October, just determining that timing of that.
We may be ready to determine that date in the July meeting or not.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah, just adding it as an item of discussion to figure out if we're ready to schedule it or not.
We have no board member changes. I'm just thinking about approval of who signs what and,
For banking purposes.
well, and for who has the authority annually that we approve to be responsible for different things. So that would be the only other piece of puzzle. Designation of roles or whatever we call it.
July meeting is usually very short, so we'll see. I mean, the regular meeting.
Yeah, well, hopefully it'll be fairly short. Any other agenda items? Okay. Aaron? Nope, okay. Board thanks.
I'll start. I went to both the high school graduation and the academy graduation, as I think we all did. And they were both great. We had a couple, a little of the balloons start popping behind you. And that's a lot of fun. But we had beautiful weather. We had a bald eagle fly over during the high school graduation, which was sort of cool. And it takes so much work to get that organized and to get it to run so smoothly, and it did run very smoothly. Speeches were great by the kids and the staff, and it was just a lot of fun. And what's what we're all here for.
I want to echo what Joe said. The graduations were awesome. They were really good. I also went to some of the year-end activities, and at the high school, the field day. What was the most incredible to me was that all the kids, you know, they were mingling and doing all their things. I never saw a kid on a cell phone. They were all talking, they were all doing, you know, their activities and stuff. It was wonderful. It was awesome. I had a blast at the Clements Field Day. That was so cute. Those little kids, there's something about those little kids. It's just fun. So that was very successful, I thought, too. And it was just fun to be part of those things or, you know, witness them. It was really cool.
Aaron, you got anything?
Of course. First of all, thank you for letting me join remotely. My mom is about to get out of heart surgery. So I've been a little stressed, and thank you for bearing with me. I also wanted to thank everyone, as my colleagues have said, who worked to make the graduations of all of the different schools a success. This one was particularly heartwarming since my third born little sweetheart graduated. And I also wanted to thank Brad for capturing some amazing photos of the two of us together, because come on, that's amazing. And I wanted to thank, it's the end of the year officially. You're all done. So hopefully none of you are in the audience. I can't see the audience, so I have no idea. But I know how much work it is to close out the end of the school year, and you have to all be exhausted. So thank you for those who are there, and I'm glad for those who aren't there that you're not there. Thank you for all of your hard work and dedication, and to my fellow board members as well. I know there's been a lot going on, so thank you all so much.
I would like to add a thank you to one of our vacant seats tonight, and that's Reagan McKinney, who has been our high school representative this year, who has come and provided school updates from the high school, ASB reports. She's just been present in all the things that we do, and we know she'll be involved in ASB next year, so we will continue to see her, but just have appreciated her voice and her presence over the course of the year.
Did over that. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody on staff, everybody that worked behind the scenes for the graduation, getting all everything set up, the Philomath Academy graduation all set up, cake down on both parts. Wonderful. I mean, it is beautiful weather. Maybe a little sunburn on the head. Next year, I think I'm going to wear my hat again. So, other than that, yeah, just thanks to everybody for all their hard work and dedication, and look forward to seeing you next year. So, with that being said, anybody got anything else?
I do have one request that we do the back to school barbecue again this year, if we can make that happen. The board, whatever we called it, that we did for all the teachers. That's my request.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that is in the works.
Yay! Let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Hoping that would become a reality, so it's kind of been in our conversations, so to hear the board say that.
I'll just try to remember to wear my glasses this time, because I literally had to put my glasses on with the heat over the grill, cracked the lenses.
But I know
And
that.
a longer.
Yeah. Either a long sleeve or shave your arm hair first this time.
Yeah, whatever.
I know that we've been working on fundraising for that, so that should be a good deal again this year.
Yeah.
So with that being said, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Aaron. Give your mom our best.